been a little while. We're going to speak about gaining energy and ecstatic bliss from dying. And we do this as a master builder. We are using something called oxidative phosphorylation. Plants also use the process of oxidative phosphorylation. Also, now oxidative phosphorylation is how a means of drawing energy. Yeah. So what we're going to do, energy, it works in levels, right? What we're going to do, and what actually happens, but it's not noticed in many cases and scenarios. And the reason that it's not noticed is because we have not become sensitive enough to recognize and notice it for what it is. And we can't recognize it because we can't feel it. And the reason that we've not been able to feel it is because we've been too entrenched in going one way, yeah. And because what we've been doing, you see, we've been going this one way, yeah. But we're going to speak about this, yeah. And because we've been going this one way, yeah, with this one energy, this energy has a pulling mechanism to it. And what it wants to do, and what it does do, and what it will do, yeah, is it will pull down that which hasn't reached the grade in order to rise up. So that which is not triumphant, and that which is considered to be weak, considered to need to be recycled in this 8, well, this is what will happen. It will be recycled, and it will be recycled, and it will come back and be renewed again. And when it comes back and renewed again, it's coming straight back from the core. It's coming straight back from the core source, yeah, and then it's going to come back out again, yeah, fresh, brand new, yeah, and it's going to come back and re-enter, yeah, and spiral outwards, yeah, into a total state of imperfection to start all over again. Back in, yeah, back in the land of death. Right, now, you have to master death in the physical. So many things just go through my mind as I do this. It's just phenomenal. So I do, and they come out, and I'll just think, well, I'll have to put them on a different one. That's how I'll have to be. And the reason that it will be like that is because I work with flow, with just straight flow. Yeah, energy, because I said about energy and levels, which I'll go into, and there is a language above the word, yeah, and that language is a language based in pure energy, and it tells no lies in any way, shape or form. And that is the energy that I'm working with, and there are others who are working with that energy as well. But I'm working with it very, very, very deeply within my life. At the minute, right, we are in the moon, right. So what's actually happening? I've decided to come on here, yeah, and to do this talk, right. I've decided to do it in what we could say, yeah, in my hour, because I am governed by the moon as a Cancerian. So I'm emotional and I'm very intuitive, yeah, and that's the basis of what I'm doing here. So what I'm actually doing is I'm using this particular moment to do this. My numbers, my vibration, my light frequency and vibration that I dropped into this physical plane to play this game, yeah, is the 11, which is a master number, and it is also a master number as a teacher. So this is the reasons why I love to come on and teach knowledge, yeah, and that because of who I am, right? So I know, knowing who I am, and we need everybody. We all need to know who we are, and this is what will take place, and this is what will happen, like right now, because it has to happen in your own individuated experience. Your individuated experience is individuated partly because of all the cause and effect actions that you have taken, which has led you to where you are currently in this precise moment. Right, oxidative phosphorylation, yeah, how does that work? You cannot just like consume loads of nutrients, loads of whatever, you know, foods or whatever, right? And expect to feel in total bliss, can you? When you're eating loads of just food, it's cooked food and all that, or whatever it is, yeah, right? So usually that cannot happen, but we are within a paradox, right? Yeah. Oxidative phosphorylation works with balance, yeah, pure, my art, balance. The only way this oxidative phosphorylation will work, yeah, is if your intention, yeah, and you are in alignment with balance. There's no other way to it. So what we're doing is you're balancing, yeah, in between life and death, yeah. You're balancing between feast and famine. There is a way, I'm going to speak about it in a different video, yeah. There is a way, right? Now, we are the same. It's like a plant, yeah. This is how the body works, right? So we are like a plant, right? Now, with the plant, it has to not just take care of itself, but you see all the soil and everything around the plant. That is where it's getting all its nutrients from. So that needs to be within working order, yeah. Feast and famine, right? There's a matrix within. That is basically operating the whole body, right? Yeah, and that matrix within, yeah, requires that you operate famine and feast, or mostly famine and some feast, right? 80-20, always 80-20, always going to be like that, yeah. Now, so the way that things work, if I completely operate stillness, yeah, right, if I operate forms of stillness, which would be like a dry fast or whatever it may be, which is what it would be, yeah, I'm operating like that, and then also not just that, yeah, and then on top of that I'm using plasma light, yeah. So I'm bringing in all the life and the life and light together as one, yeah. Now what will happen is your body, yeah. This is what I speak about here, is how you speak to your core essence, aligned with operating the physical matter state, yeah. Right. So how that comes about is because when you operate with superior forms of energy, yeah, which is what I'm working with. See, this is why I say energy, yeah. Energy. Well, some people don't like to hear this, but it's true. It works in levels. Why does it work in levels? Because it works in densities. So because it works in densities means it operates on levels, right? So, and what we found over the years as well, yeah, doing it. I've been doing this a long time, so I know that years ago, people didn't want to hear anything about, you know, oh, you put certain things into you. There's certain things that you put into your body, yeah, that are going to lift you up, and there's certain things you put into your body are going to bring you down, blah 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 blah. Because the ego, because we don't want to do that, and then urine therapy comes along, yeah, and then what urine therapy does, and then plasma comes along, and hydrogen comes along, yeah, and these things they come along, and they are action. They come along, and they come via action. So wisdom dawned upon us, yeah, and that's how we then come about through action, being able to say, look, yeah, what is actually happening here is that I am pulling in emotions from outside of this plane, yeah, outside of the imaginary plane that we have been residing within. The emotions that are residing with, it's like, I call it a 99 floor elevator, yeah. You can go up and up and up and up and up. These emotions, they're alignment with the soul. So oxidative phosphorylation, so if you conduct and operating with light and life, yeah, if you then, you could be, I don't know, you could go for maybe 3-4 days or something, yeah, you're just juicing, using all your protocols, and so on and so forth. Once you become charged, yeah, once you become charged, and you start to accelerate, when you start to accelerate, because you're accelerating because you're coming up here. The reason that you accelerate is because amino acids have a left spin. When they go on a left spin, and there's a left spin and a right spin, there's everything is curved linear. And in amino acid, that's just how it works. Yeah, and it's alignment with the DNA. Yeah, but the DNA is also in this helix shape. Yeah, right. So the amino acid then spins to the left. When it spins to the left, it is increasing alkalinity. That is what the aminos do. When the aminos spin to the right, yeah, they increase redshift acidity. Yeah, which is recycling. That's all it is. That's what's happening, and that is in alignment with. That is also then in alignment, yeah, with magnetism. Yeah, because this is all being conducted via magnetism. So when you get them to spin, they speed up and they accelerate. Yeah, and then that acceleration, yeah, is what triggers the soul, yeah, to take over the vessel and vehicle. So what happens then, if you've gone, say, 4 days, yeah, even if you were a breatharian, I'm going to show you the paradox right now. If you were a breatharian, right, because I do this, so I know this, all gnosis, right. Now, if I went and like which is what I'm doing with the protocols that I'm doing anyway, yeah. So when I get to, say, from Monday to Thursday, right, and I'm just totally just raw anyway, yeah. I've only, all I've put in is some fruit. So the rest of the time I've been using plasma, the age urine, and then I've been mixing the alchemical protocols together so that they become supercharged with high quantities of liquid light. You don't need to eat. We're doing it for emotion, whatever. Liquid light, right? But you see, I just said you don't need to. Watch this. Want to. Watch this. For the purposes of leveraging to create releases of packets of energy, right? So you see, once you've come to, say, the 4th day now, and then if you were to eat some food, right, for example, what would happen the next day? Yeah, the nutrients. You see, what's happening is this. Yeah, it's going to take the nutrients and break those nutrients down. Once those nutrients get broken down, and then they transmute, they release energy. That's why you get this. That's how it works. So that's how you've got your oxidative phosphorylation, yeah, ATP, and the rest of it. When you eat, so that 4th, 5th day, yeah. If I was to then eat some food, now it could just be any old cooked food, but as long as it's not, you know, as long as you're not using this toxic food that they give to these people, unfortunately, yeah, and you ate yourself a sensible, balanced, cooked meal or whatever it was, yeah. What would happen the next day? You then continue your protocol. You then continue your initiate practices, yeah. You then continue those. What happens is, you find that you get another charge, as though, yeah, you are in that raw plasma state, as though you're in that raw lifted light state. Yeah, I'm compounding on a serious amount of energy to make things happen for me within my own being. Because that is what it's doing, is it's raising me up, yeah, and it's expanding my field, and it's putting a shield around me. So I don't need to worry about where I am. I don't need to worry about going to places, because as a master builder, you become master of the self. Now, as a child of matter, yeah, you can command, yeah, you do command, yeah, your physical experience. But every physical experience that we are having is different. I can't go to someone else and go, but you're on this level of awaken. Why are you doing this or why are you doing that? Why? Yeah, because from a judgmental perspective, I can't do that with them because I'm not having the same sex experience as them. Sex experience is I'm not having the same interactions as what they. Every single interaction that they are having is having a cause and effect response. Every single blink that I have to take responsibility for it because every single thing that I when I move like this, I'm affecting and manipulating the ether. So I'm creating a ripple effect. So anything, as soon as you put something out there, it's already out there. If you put a coronavirus out there, it's out. You've created a ripple now, yeah. And this you get use problem reaction solution from that sort of from all these sort of scenarios. So then what happens is it's not the cause. It's not the cause. It's the effect of the cause. This is what dark sorcerers and dark occultists will be relying upon in that sort of scenario. Because it's the effects that can be brought about by the initial cause. Yeah, there's no 5G properly out and about. Not properly. Yeah, because 5G you're going to need wide gig. You need a wide gig router. It has to have a route. It has to be beamformed. And the oxygen molecules knock it out of the way, and it disrupts your oxygen within you. But it can only do that from short. It can only do that for short distances. So what we're going to find is when 5G is actually properly deployed, it's going to be like a massive shock. But what's already in place is what is happening now. So creating these scenarios to bring about an inorganic singularity. But you need to have little boxes everywhere, and you need to have it inside of your house so they can beamform it straight through to you. Yeah, that's how that works. The bacteria, and I'm going to go into that anyway. Yeah, with bacteria, because see, bacteria's work with CO2. Bacteria's they feed on electricity. They give and receive like anode and cathodes. That's that, and you have them in your gut. Yeah, so they're there. So what I'm speaking about is oxidative phosphorylation. Yeah, 80% of the time you're firing on the light, firing in the light. But you're only going to get this. What I'm speaking about here, the oxidative phosphorylation charge, you're only going to get this by firing in the light. Yeah. So when you're up high like this and you've risen, yeah, you can drop back down again, yeah, and then you'll find yourself meeting back up in the middle here, yeah, because your internal system now will take those nutrients that you've put in, it will take those, yeah, and it will use the radiation heat from them to generate energy. It's going to generate, and it's going to use those nutrients yet again, yeah, to generate energy. So this is why there is no good and bad. Yeah, all are actions, yeah, or mechanisms that can be used and manipulated in order to create balance, in order to create peace and harmony and tranquility, in order so that we can have field expansion. Yeah, this is how it works. This is why if I go to Sumerian scripture, what we'll find is in the Sumerian pantheon, Anu is the god there, yeah, is the old, and so Anu, yeah, went into the heavens, and Anu became Uranus, and then if you look at Greek mythology, it's then going to tell you, we'll do some syncretism there now, it's then going to tell you that Uranus and Gaia, so Gaia and Uranus was together. Then what happens is get Kronos to come in and castrate Uranus, castrates Uranus, and then Venus comes into play. When Venus copper oxide green Earth 7 comes into play, that changes the dielectric acceleration of gravitational forces upon the Earth, which changes the sizes of the creatures that are on the beings that are on here, which is your Nephilims and you've got Nephilim giants and so on and so forth. And it also has an effect upon the psyche. Why does it do this? The reason that it has an effect upon the psyche is because there is a word called pneuma, and pneuma is in classical Greek antiquity, and you also find it in the Bible, and it's connected to soul, psyche, and breath. Yeah, there is another word, yeah, in the Hebrew Bible and in the Jewish scripture as well, and it's ruach a kadesh. Ruach HaKodesh. Yeah, these words, they're the same with Pneuma. Yeah, they are connected to the breath of life. So Ruach HaKodesh, and you've got Ruach Elohim HaKodesh in the Bible. Yeah, is the Father. Yeah, and the Mother's the Holy Spirit. You see, they've got it down as the Holy Spirit. Yeah, and they use it Yahweh. So you see what happens. You see, you've got patriarchy and matriarch, as we know. So because of the mix-up that happens there. So then, what happens is, so there is a breathing, upon waters, which is air. Yeah. So you see, air is the one. Air is the one, and Paracelsus and some other people would tell you this as well. Some brilliant occultists, that you see that it's coming through the air. So what I was just talking about there with Uranus, the reason I was saying that, you see, Uranus is connected to Anu, and the reason that I'm using that is because of the field strengths. So Uranus, will cause disruption. Will cause disruption, and its colours is black and white checkers. Black and white checkers is what you'll find on a Masonic checkerboard floor. So what's actually happening is interaction between fields has a massive effect upon the matter plane. That's how it works. So when we are here now, the fields, because everything is this constant loop. So when we are here now, in matter, upon the physical plane, the fields are still constantly incoming, just like you came here. These fields, they come as cosmic rays, and we haven't been because we don't know. Right now, we don't really recognise the interconnectedness of all things outside of the physical plane. But in reality, what's happening is this constant flow starts from within the stars. Some within the stars. See, the North Star is the all-seeing eye, which is the star, which is North Star, which is Polaris. That is is a Stella Maris, it's the Queen of the Sea. The Queen of the Seas is in command of your waters. Your waters, contains NAC, which we're looking at here, NAC, sodium, can be used to create a magnetic field, to generate, they can replicate a magnetic field of the Earth by using sodium to do that. But then what's actually happening, that same sodium, that same NAC, the NAC, right? NAC itself is 8. NAC is 8, but the sodium, is 22 and 9, which is spirit and matter, But the sodium and the potassium is K for king, which is master number 11, which is active. So what does that mean? So what that means is sodium potassium pump, which is NAC, is vital to numerous bodily processes. I've just got it here next to me. I do a lot of videos usually, and I'm just remembering it all into my head when I could just actually put it right next to some of it, put it right next to me to make it a little bit easier. We can get a little bit more out, because I want nothing more than for others to learn and know this truth. My metaphysical awakening started in 2010, right? And it started in 2010, and ever since 2010, my core essence of true self has dragged me up and sorted me out, and took me from a fool, and it's shown me the light, and show me how to be and who to be, and that process would only start through the breath. It starts through the breath. I spoke about oxidative phosphorylation. Everything's an experimentation to me. My partner is nowhere near the levels of where I am at, which is also natural as well. So I watch and learn. So what happens is she's doing some of the protocols, but she's not conducting the breathing. But oxidative phosphorylation works on her. So when somebody when somebody, when they are not aligned with their true core essence, true self, they are in their imaginary self. They're in their imaginary self, and that's what I'm going to speak about next. the imaginary self. Yeah, but we're going to continue with this knack. But the knack is the 8. Knack is 8. Yeah, there's so many connections that I can make and show. They're not my connections, they're our connections. These connections that are being made. So that's why I said, so then my true self makes me sit up here. I swear to you now. And so does so does Sophia, Magnamata. Makes me sit up, makes me want to sit up here and do this more than anything else. More than anything else. Yeah. And what I've noticed, what we must try not to do, yeah, everything that we are using has been predefined, because you see this realm, everything is malleable, and it is a mirror reflecting back to let you know that you are a supreme being, and you are a child of matter. So those in the know use definition to define your experience for you. Yeah, that is how they do it. So when you use a platform like Facebook or anything like that, we have to, all right, listen, we have to use it, right. It's great because we get to put light out, you see. It's great because we get to put light out, yeah. But at the same time, yeah, it is being used to further, yeah, your imaginary persona and your imaginary self, because they want to create a artificial version of it, an imaginary further what's happening is they want to mutate what's already been done. Your person is in legal term, you have a person. That person is dead. Yeah, it's a dead entity, right? So but then you see when you are born, yeah, this is which I'm going to speak about here. Yeah, you have your imaginary self and your true self. So you have an MK Ultra, somewhat alter egos, but you have them as well. And when we are unhealthy, the imaginary self, the imaginary portion of self, is in command of self, and then the predefinitions have been defined based on fantasy, and it's all imaginary. So so the construct in which you are residing within is illusory, and that is why now all of a sudden you see these scenarios that took place. I did a video around Capricorn, right? It was around Capricorn. I did this video, and there was an eclipse in the moon, right? It was around Capricorn. Capricorn is the goat, and it has a tail, and its tail it sits in the water. So it's the opposite side of the water, which is the 4, and the Capricorn is down below. So you've also got Capricorn down there. We had Saturn down there. So then what happened is you have Pandemonium. Pan is a moon of Saturn, but Pan, yeah, is an archetypal entity that is an archetype that has been instilled within us. Is a lustful entity, and because lustfulness is going to be chaotic. This is what it's going to happen. These chaotic fires here, yeah. So that's why then you have a pandemic, yeah, a pandemonium, yeah, is coming from panic. Yeah, because they're using the energy of Pan to bring about this shit scenario. Yeah, yeah. And I say that, but at the same time, listen, I welcome it. That's why I've been talking about 5G and all this for ages. Yeah, and I love it. Listen, I welcome it. Any occultist will tell you that this needs to take place, because we're cowardly. Yeah. The dark occultists that run this place, they think that you're an idiot. They think you're an idiot to them. Unfortunately, if you're not as we awaken and we start to master the self, but prior to that, yeah, then you're seen as a fool, and you're an idiot to them, right? Why are you an idiot? Because you don't command your own vessel, yeah. You don't command your own reality. You're letting them command it for you. So therefore, you are now operating in a triumphant manner. So because of that, we are seen, yeah, as something to be taken advantage of, and in actual fact, something to be discarded. Yeah, eugenics, wiped out of the way. Why is that? Because you're not taking responsibility, right? So the sodium potassium pump, like remember on the last video, was showing, and I am using, when I create my plates, when I create my, these plates here, and the reasons you see I'm showing to create these plates, you see with plasma, you don't need to, people can start stacking up for food. If you're using plasma, yeah, which as we go forward, I'm going to be doing that. I'm waiting for something to come for the CH3. It's taking a little while. If you've ordered something, there's a big backlog there they got going on, but it is coming through. Because it's the hardest for the CH3, it's hard to get. So you will be able to create, the fields of your food. The fields of your food, so you don't need to eat anyway. So you look at this. This is the thing with the plasma. The things that it will do is it will remove, and it will repair, and it will sterilize. Those three things it will do to anything in the matter state. Anything in the matter state. Yeah? It will do that, right? So a HIV or a virus, VIs, spirit and matter, it's telling you, you see, this is spirit. This is why there's still forms of entities, but this is why they're not picky and who they choose. Somebody said about the Pope or somebody getting it, or whatever. If someone's going to get something or get whatever it is, you see, what you're dealing with is outside of the physical plane, with spirit, right? But these are lesser field strengths compared to the plasma fields. They're nothing compared to plasma fields. Plasma fields have been incorporated deliberately. They're using them to remove virus. That's what it's for. That is one of the things that it does. And then after that, you then find when you use this, it goes straight. It will put a corona charge straight through your vessel, through your blood, and it will ignite your soul. I have a post I'm going to do about it with the urine. The aged urine, this stuff is action. Bam! In the physical. You will get everything done with this. I get everything done with this. But it's compared to the way the plasma works, this is a different thing, because the plasma is long term. It's amazing. What I mean by long, like this is amazing in that day. But the next day, it's not going to be, it's the next day. I need to go again. But you see, what the plasma does, what the CO2 does and CH3, what that does is it gives you mega longevity. It will give you this instant, it will access your soul and it will make you so it will raise you up in consciousness straight away. It will give you whatever you action. It will show you that it will show you that in this reality, whatever you want to be and whatever you are, you can be it. That's what the plasma is going to do. It's phenomenal what's going to happen now, because that stuff is a fuel straight for the soul. That's what that is. This is also a fuel for the soul, because it's your soul essence. It's coming straight from your blood, as I've always been teaching for a long while now. So that's how this works, and that's why, you said Odin, you drunk from the womb of the mother goddess, etc., and a giantess as well. Drinking the blood, of several women, and there was the Golden Emperor in China who drank the blood of 12,000 women and became a supreme being because of it. Because you see, your soul essence resides within your blood. That's why people used to do this blood over intent thing. But really, what you should be doing is drinking your aged urine. That is what you should be doing. And you see, we put up a fight, and the ego is what does that. It puts up a fight because we like to think we know. Which we do, which many of us we do know. But you see, the thing is, what we don't want to see happening here, what we can see happening a little bit, which is a shame, is that when you action these certain things here, it's putting people on a totally different plane of being, and it's meaning that through waters, through action, through primordial waters, you see, because this is alignment with primordial waters. Then primordial waters is in alignment with magnetism. which is this flow. When I started the video, I was going on about this flow. Yeah, yeah. So what the age during does, yeah, is it acts as a base, yeah, to release the soul. Yeah, that's what led me onto the plasma, probably. Yeah, and then you see then the plasma is then doing a different thing, because what the plasma is then doing is the age during, yeah, is, you see, it's giving you a supreme amount of energy through the phosphates, yeah, oxidative phosphorylation, yeah, it's massive. The amino acids. So what it's doing is it's optimizing the physical body. It's optimizing the physical body. When you put the plasma on top of that, the plasma feeds the soul directly. It feeds the soul directly. So that means on day two and day 3, when you start using your aged urine and your other things, you will find that now all of a sudden you are getting everything out of it. You are now, you see what it's doing? It's magnifying your experience, and that is what plasma does, right? And that is what is happening in this in our environment now, and that is why Numa and Ruish, yeah, Kadesh, yeah, in Hebrew, etc. They are referring to, and even the Romans, when someone used to die, they used to go over there, like in the film Shining, the latest one, Doctor Sleep or whatever it was, yeah, in Shining, right? When people used to die, the Romans used to die, when they used to have the last breath, they used to take the person's last breath and try to breathe that in, because of the fields coming out. Yeah, so that's the way that it really works. The way that it really works is that there is entities, energies within the atmosphere. Even the CO2 within the atmosphere, as we breathe that in, yeah, it stimulates. Of course it does. It's CO2. Yeah, yeah. MWP. Yeah. So which is there was a medieval warm period, right? I think that was the words for it. Which is global warming, but they said it was a medieval time, but it wasn't connected to CO2. Yeah. Why is that? Yeah. Dates. Medieval times. Yeah. Right. You see, influx, and there was also, I seen auroras in medieval times. The sky was red. Everyone was scared. They scared because he thought that God was coming for him. So he don't think they've done something wrong. Yeah. But it's fields of it's plasma. So like I was saying earlier, cosmic rays, they come in here, and they provide us with life, and we didn't even realize it, because the CO2 that we're using, yeah, is transmuted from radiocarbon. Radiocarbon is cosmic rays coming directly from the light. The light is the Father. Deus, yeah, in Indo-European, yeah, in Indo-European tribes, etc. Deus was the sky Father, yeah. Dew is vapor, yeah, that's been condensed. Vapor is accelerated. It's a superior form of water, because vapor now, it has changed its state of matter. Then we have invisible vapor, yeah, on top of that. All of that is coming from Nut. Nut is the sky goddess. So, which she then is Danu, which is Danu. See, in the Rig Veda, yeah, in Sanskrit they have Danu. But then in the Thwada Dan, they also have Danu. Danu sounds like Anu. But then Danu, near me where I am, we have the river Don. Every river is named after Danu. Danu is D for 4, which is waters. Danu is primordial waters also. But then she has her sons, the Danask, yeah. Now, her sons, yeah, the gods, her sons are fires. These are fire gods, yeah. They come out of the water. If you ever see lightning go into water, massive explosion, yeah, fire and water. With a lot of Hindus as well, the Hindus, they do Feng Shui. Hindus do Feng Shui. Look at this for Syncretism. Hindus do Feng Shui. They call it, there's a different word for it. feng shui. So in their kitchens, for example, they wouldn't have, they can't have the sink and the cooker next to each other. They can't have the sink and the cooker next to each other. Now, 9 times out of 10, your sink is going to be 90 centimeters long, and from the floor to your worktop is going to be 90 centimeters high. All of your appliances are 60 centimeter, and if you have an American fridge freezer, it's going to be 90 centimeters. You can't get away from this. You can't get away. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from it from the mathematics that are within this realm. Yeah, because it is part of the movement of the spheres. It's part of the music of the spheres. Yeah, so it's a part of the matrix womb that we reside within. So then you see what I was going to look at is, you see, when you say Ruach Kadesh, yeah, they say Ruach Ah. Now Ah, yeah, in Indo-European language is delight. I'm using this Indo-European language because, you see, within that then that's then coming from Aryans, yeah, and then you see that what we're doing is trying to get it all the way back, right, all the way back to the center, and then outwards from there, yeah. So now check this out. So yeah, in Indo-European language was delight, yeah, surprise, pain. Now A-H, ha is ha, do you know what that is? It's 9, which is causality, which is spirit. Yeah, that's 9. Yeah, 7 is completion, but 9 will also is going to complete. But 9 is the causality. And 9 is connected to 0. Yeah, so yeah, you can get delight. Yeah, watch this. So you can gonna get delight. Yeah, but you can also gonna get disgust and pain. And then in Old English, the same the word for the same meaning was la. Now la is 4. There's your 94. But you see when he said pain, in your 9, yeah. And the next videos I'm going to do is I'm going to show something else, which is actually is phenomenal. It really is. But then you see, la is the 6th musical octave. There, and then la in Latin is labi for lips, but this is sol. But la is here. See? Yeah. So there we see everything is all interconnected. Now then, what happens is this. You have here. This is your figure of 8. Now this is how magnetism works. Now once in actual fact, if I have it, which I may not do. If it's here, then great. If not, I don't mind. If it's here, then great. But if it's not here, then I don't mind. Yeah, because what I wanted to show, what I wanted to show was this. Yeah, I want to show that this figure of 8, that we see here, that figure of 8 there, belongs in this water molecule, as I've shown before. Yeah, that figure of 8 there belongs in this water molecule. Yeah, so you get positive and negative, and then that gives us a dipole moment in the center. That's within your water molecule. But this figure of 8, yeah. Now what's going to happen here now? What's going to happen here is that the one that I may need to show, we'll use this one instead. But the actual field The actual field is the same as this. But anyway, we'll show it. So you see here, this is the figure of 8 magnetism, right? This is how magnetism works. See, that then you have, what you have then is you then have the plant, yeah? So then that's the field around the plant. That's the field around the plant, and then you got the figure of 8, right? When somebody drinks their urine, now this is, I'm going to speak in the language above English, which is in dual. If you start speaking English, yeah, you start speaking in dualism as well. Yeah, but language above word. When people drink their urine, when they are in when they're in alignment, yeah, when they are in alignment with this, the pull down 9, yeah, in the red, yeah, 9 out of 10, 4 out of 5, yeah, that's how it is, down here in the red. See, when you're doing that, when they urinate, their urine has like a slight, even if they don't notice it because they're used to it, it has like a slight burn to it. Yeah, when it comes out, see, this is how this place works. There's so many levels of understanding to even one thing. So then what happens is subconsciously, yeah, they've told themselves subconsciously that the urine, yeah, is acidic to them. So in their world, yeah, that is how it is. That is how it is, and there's no change in that, because that is what they are experiencing. That is what they're experiencing, and they're experiencing it through feeling, even though they are not in alignment. Even though they are not in alignment with feeling, even though that's the case, they're expressing it through feeling. That's how that works. I wanted to show a different one, but I've shown it before anyway. I mean, I could just use that one, right? So you see there, yeah, that then is a field of magnetism, and that's how it works, yeah. So the one side is pushing acidity, the other side is pushing alkalinity in one area, and then in other areas of magnetism, one of these promotes life, pushes for life, and the other one promotes removal of stagnation. So removal of what you call diseases, illnesses, and so on and so forth. Yeah, and that's with the body. But you see, external fields of magnetism can cause mutations. Yeah, and this is why you see it's like now with what's happening with external fields. So they cause mutations. But if you release your magnetism from within you, yeah, then you see the magnetism, yeah, is Dano. It's God. It's God. So the magnetism itself can be used. We can take it, and this has been done before. It's already, everything I say has already been done. They've actually done it, right? So with magnetism, you could take a snake, a vicious snake, and turn it so it's soft as a butterfly. Yeah, you can do that. It's how it works. So what I wanted to show was how that this 8, you see, this 8 is the movement of magnetism. Now, isn't it amazing that I did a while ago, I did the H on the big board, and I took the H and I did some on my own. I used my own intuition to do to create a geometric shape out of the H, and the H is the 8, and 8 is the Homo sapien. The Homo sapien is wise, and the Homo sapien is you, and you are the 8, and you are magnetism. Magnetism is what you are, and magnetism works in this movement. The figure of 8. She is the figure of 8. Yeah, and that's how that works. Now, if we go further, we can go further, because then what we can do, yeah, is I could then take this zygote cell. See, this is a zygote cell. Yeah, this is how you get here. This is how we get here through sperm, right? See this zygote cell? It's still split into 2. It's a figure of 8. The DNA is also the same. The zygote cell is the same. The cleavage of the zygote cell goes from 2 to 4 to 16 to 7. And the 7 is the earth. You are a child of matter. That's what you are. So then that zygote, so that's why we're trying to find the other one that I have. See how this place works? It's amazing. I do these videos and then I will go in there and the one that I'm looking for, it will come up after I've already been here, after I've already come through. Yeah. So there you go, you see. So even your zygote cell is in the shape of that magnetism. Is in the shape, you see your red and the blue. And then you have your plane of inertia in that center. So even before we come through, that is what we're looking at. And then you see the figure of 8 there. Now even this is a plasma. Plasma works like this. Plasma is aligned with phosphor. You use plasma phosphor, yeah. Plasma and phosphor goes together. The phosphorus is Lucifer light, yeah. And then the plasma, like if you want to put plasma to create light out of a screen, you have the 3 modalities here that you're working with: the red, green, and the blue. Yeah, you're always working with those 3. And then that green, once they hit that center point, once that hits that center point, then everything else can balance out, and then we can go straight through, and then we straight down that center, and then that enables us to connect with the light, and it also enables us to connect with the universal mind that is in alignment with the metaphysical planes that you cannot see, that is in alignment with what you call air, yeah, which contains superior forces and energies. And that's why I teach about energy compounding, yeah, because what happens is you tether to the realm. You actually tether yourself, increasingly, because it increases and increases, yeah, to this realm. And once you do that, once we tether ourselves to this plane, yeah, then everything else becomes open to us. That's when things like magic, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and everything else manifests in our reality. And then this is when we are able to command our physical experience, and this is when we're able to become triumphant in matter. And then that is what we're talking about, being able to ascend, yeah, in that way then. And that's why when I was just saying that when we are born, you come through and you have your true self and you have your imaginary self. Now the adults that are still within, you know, this is what, imagine this. So the adult that is the dysfunctional sensitivity, I call it. That's why people get touchy about every little thing that's said to them, because their fields are weak, so they're emotionally distraught. So anytime anybody says anything, it hurts them and upsets them. So when somebody's born, yeah, or they get offended, they feel offended by it when they shouldn't. They don't even need to be offended by it, and they get paranoid and all that. Yeah. So when a child comes through, when the essence comes through, the parents, they are the renters of the child, and now they are a parent. You see, because you see light, 7-ray light, there's a P. Yeah, that light's be deceptive. Yeah. So when that renter of the child comes through, they actually perceive as though that child is them. Yeah. What the reason for that is because they are in alignment with their imaginary self. They are in alignment with the imaginary illusory reality that you are in. Yeah. And Maya is M, isn't it? Maya is M, and M is matter, and it contains a Y. Y is also 7. This is a 7-ray serpent. If I take that, yeah, it's gonna be, it'll be there. It'll be something, yeah. And because this place is illusory, and the reason it's be so illusory and so inauthentic in that, one of the main reasons that is because of the imaginary self, yeah, aligned, yeah, with your personality, yeah. And that's how, so this whole reality is they use your imaginary self to build it and create a total fantasy. So then everything else, so that's why you're in a fantasy. It's straight fantasy. You're messing around with tickets, using tickets to say that you've got more tickets than someone else. It's not real. Yeah. So then, you know, a child is born, and then this child is born, but then the imaginary self, yeah, takes everything literally. You think everything is literal. So then what happens is, the mind is weak in the imaginary self. The imaginary self is suffering. It is in total imperfection, and it is all that you've ever known. It's all that you've ever known. So when this child comes through, the parent they are renting the child until I see a parent, yeah, until I see a parent who is teaching the child the difference between gender and teaching the child the difference between harmful and harmless behaviour. They are only renting that child, yeah, because the child is owned by by his story, because his story is using the imaginary self, yeah, to imprint upon that child. Yeah, that's how that's working. But then the parent, this is the paradox. The parent thinks because of the parent thinks again now, because of the DNA. See, you see that thing I was looking at earlier, isn't it? Like this, look, yeah, that. Because of the DNA, the actual parent perceives the child. You see what matter does. It's illusory. It will trick you. It will trick you. So if you are not ready, yeah, then you'll be deceived. You'll put yourself into further dense matter. Great, further dense matter, so that you can suffer more pain, so you can recognise and rise back upwards. They see the child and they think it's them. They see the child. It comes out of the womb, out of the dark womb, black hole, yeah. Comes out. That's why you see, and then and that's again egos. And we get some black people. They think that they think that everyone comes from a black woman. No, it's not. Krishna is also black and then blue as well. You see, you're talking about energies. The black light is the force, is the main. The black light of stillness, yeah, is the supreme absolute, yeah. And then the white light is born off of that, yeah. That's how it works. And that's why when you go to somewhere like martial arts, like what I do here, using Mars, I'm going to start off in red. By the time I finish, I'm going to be on black as the master. That's how it works. That's how it works. And then halfway through, I'll be on green. And then when what will happen is, once I start to get to really know what I'm doing, when you do martial arts, you're going to be on blue. Don't forget, martial arts is thousands of years old. So it's occultists put these things together. Once you know what you're doing, you're going to be on blue. Once you really sort of keenly know what you're doing now, yeah, then you'll be on purple, up towards your crown. Corona is a crown. Crown and corona is the same. They come from the same word. Yeah, yeah. Crown is corona, but a corona is a discharge. You get a corona plasma discharge when you drink 400 ml of CO2. If you create it, this is what will happen, and you will get a cosmic ray goes flying straight through your whole vessel, and then you see how you feel is how you perceive the reality in front of oneself. Yeah. Now that doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing in order to make that scenario take place. As a child of matter, yeah. So that's how that would work. So it doesn't. So the parent, yeah. You see, they are renting the child, but then they think at the same time, because of the paradox, P for light again, deception of light. They think that the child they own this child. So then now, what do they start doing? They start imprinting their imaginary self, which is all the things that, all these likes and dislikes, they're all toxic, a lot of them, because you see the core essence, your true self, has been put to the back, in the background. Your true self is in alignment with the light, so it's going to show you it's going to show you how to access this left spin. So your true self, what's happening is your true self, yeah, it has a left spin, right? Yeah, your true self's got this left spin. Yeah, to the left. And then your imaginary self has got a right spin. So what's actually happening? Your true self, yeah, here you've got a left spin. So you see there, it's got like a left spin. Right? So one's going one way and one's going the other. So so if I was to just put it on there, yeah. So you've got a left and a right spin. This is the amino acids. Left and the right spin. Now your imaginary self is in alignment with your right spin. Yeah, so what they're doing, what these sorcerers do, is they're getting that parent, the renter. Why they're a renter? Because their parent put them into that imaginary self as well. So now you can't be the owner of, nobody owns anything, but you cannot be the sovereign being to teach that your own child. Yeah, because you are following a pattern of renting. Because your parent did the same. And they came up to that other child, came up to their parent of the child, and they said, "You're the same as me. You look just like me. So what you want to do is look after yourself, John. Don't worry about nobody else." And then so we're always putting them on this right spin. The amino acids, this is right spin. Yeah. Because we are putting that child on that right spin, because using your DNA, using DNA to do it, genetics, because of the body looks the same, because your genetics look the same. Yeah. So then they are using all of those right spin learned behaviours to pass that on to this new child that comes through. So that new child then is instantly put into its imaginary self. And that's how we have the imaginary construct, and then now we have the true blueprint. It's incoming, yeah, incoming like bam, yeah, because this is imaginary, so it's just going to go whack and whack that straight out. So we can look at it, Apocalypse of the Conquering Christ. I got a little bit out of that as well, which is connects up with what I'm teaching, what I'm saying, what I'm talking about here at the same time also. So that is these are the things. So then now when we come further on down the line now, and we recognise the imaginary self, yeah, and we recognise the true self, yeah. So what we are then constantly doing now is trying to we're releasing it. We're trying to release it, trying to release the imaginary self, and it still will come in. It still come in because the personality does need to be there when we're balanced. It needs to be there, but it's governed by the core true self, which knows what it is, Because if when we bring a child through, yeah, we would know not to smother that child, because we know that child has its own individuated core essence, yeah. And so that is the difference is there. So imagine that as a massive ploy that comes in. So when we look at people, why don't these people wake up? Why don't these people wake up? Because there's a program running in the background with no words, yeah, like that. When that child comes in, you see, metaphysics is what's happening. You see it, yeah, and then when you see it, when they see it. From a mundane perspective, yeah, you see what I always say, yeah, there's another 7 colours in between black and white, yeah, but you see, what's actually happening is you're using the lesser, so you're using the red light, infrared, yeah, IR, heat, but you see, you're using the base light to see, the base ray to see. You're only seeing there's only one aspect of seeing there. So now you're taking everything literally, taking everything in its base form. So you see that child because it looks like me, it came out of a partner. I put mine to the side there, so that's me. So now I better imprint all. So that's what they do. And that's what they do. And then that's why you see people, they go on Facebook with the ego, and they actually sat there with the child, and they go, this child is going to grow up to be just like me, like father, like son. Yeah, you live through your kids. No, you don't live through your kids. This is why we have to be careful. My path is different to my father's path. It's different to my mother's path. They came in a different timeline to myself. Yeah, I know I've only been here once before. I know that. Yeah, and it wasn't in their family line. Because everyone people to go, oh, your ancestors just think that. Because it's far more vast and complex than just your own small family. Yeah, family can be whatever is familiar to you. Yeah, can be whoever is familiar to you. I might have an energy signature. I might have an alignment with somebody who's got the same energy for me, because you see, we may have entered in here from this. We may have entered in here. We come from the same home. Yeah, we come that is what is happening. Yeah, as souls. Yeah, so my true self resides outside of here, elsewhere. Yeah, yeah, and another plane, and then so another being, another souls come through, reside in the same place, come from the same, emanate from the same beginnings as myself. Yeah, so they have the similar or same energy signature as me. I could be born into a family with beings who have a totally different energy signature to me. Yeah, but then what they do is they're using the imaginary self, say, no, I'm the same as you, we're the same as you, so you have to listen to me. You have to listen to what I tell you, because blah blah blah. Next thing you know, you're following blind. It's a blind leading the blind, isn't it? So now you're following someone who's got no knowledge or anything, and what they're doing is everything that they do, yeah, is designed to control you. So now you're being controlled and manipulated by somebody else, and that started off from the moment of birth, because the parent was trapped in its imaginary self. Yeah, and then because of that, they then pass that on. They then manipulate that child, and mold that child as the renter of the child, because his story created that scenario so that they would do that up until the point where that child would then go into this state. So then this state would then continue the imaginary persona, yeah, in order for the purposes of energy extraction. Once you leave the school, yeah, which is like a fish, it's a school of fish, so they follow each other. You leave and you follow into a college, yeah, and then you go into one of their universes. But a verse is rhythm, is a rhythmic. So you see, they've got them all in the same rhythm. When they take the mitre board square hat off, they take their mitre board square hat, they take it off, the mitre board square cube. When they take that mitre board square cube off, they all throw it up in the air together at the same time. So let them know they've thrown up in the air, yeah, up into the blue sky, yeah. But you see, that light that they've been given is a false light, isn't it? It's a false light. But you see, the mitre board that they wear on their hair is Masonic, which is this cube here. You see, it's not a cube, it's a diamond. Now, the diamond is carbon, yeah, resting, and you see, we're getting it from out of matter, from out of the earth here. Man wants to become wealthy. Man in matter wants to have wealth, right? You can see it in man's energy. This is why women is better authoritarian than the man, than the masculine. Not the personality imaginary feminine, but the true core superior divine feminine. Yeah. Supreme being. Yeah. Being control. Because you see, that's what I said. So they're wearing this on their head when they go to university, are they not? So you have here 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your 4. I'm always talking about the 4 and the 9s. The 4 and the 9s is going to go together. So I'm going to show you. See, if you go into a church, if you go into, see this church here, there's your mitre board here. There is your square. There's your diamond here. This is your diamond, right? Now, the 4 is matter. The 6 is physical matter, physical. The two of them are intertwined together. Yeah, I'm going to show that. if you go into a church, you see this church here, you will always find it's a square, and it has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Masonic, the whole thing. It's not what we think it is. Yeah. So that's why how they've done this. So then you see, and then what they've done is on the clock. Look what they've done. They put the clock, the time, which is the movement of her field, of her 4, because water is 4. See, and you see the movement of this field here. It's a 360 degrees. She is the 2 and the 4. She's 24/7. She's 360 degrees. So you see, because she's like that, boom, 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 boom. She's giving you invisible vapor that you can't see. Also, she's superior forms of energy and plasma. So you see, if you take a Pythagorean pentagram, we'll find air and water at the top. At the top. Yeah. Yeah. So they are pulling in the ether. And then a Pythagorean pentagram also contains a perfect pyramid apex within it, or which you will also find that same geometry, yeah, in your water molecule. See this here? This here is a pyramid, and this we have perfect incommensurability coming in from here, and they have ether coming in from here. If I draw a line across here, you'll see that it is a pyramid that can go that way, yeah, or it can go that way, and that is the geometry of the water that we use. So you see, this is one church here. I've got lots of this. I'm going to do lots of videos on geometry, just straight within our normal surroundings. I'll put out a lot of light and truth to people there, so that you can see how divinity, how they use it. Yeah. So there you see. So there you have the 4 here for matter. See, and then you see. So then with the clock. Yeah. So I was just saying, inside of her 4, her movement gives you the impression of the time. Yeah, in alignment with Saturn. Yeah. So that is when you get in this thing about time, when really there isn't a time. But you see, the base in a standing has us go around like an idiot about time. What's happening with this time? I run out of time. Oh God! You say, idiot, ID, spirit and matter. Idiot, ID. Yeah, but you have to have ID here, because you are spirit and matter. Matter, you have to have ID. So but you see here, you have this diamond here. Now, if I go into it, this is a different church. This is the cathedral. This one here was a cathedral in Lincoln. Where it was. Going into these places, mate. But at the same time, I love it, because I love to find truth. Now look at that. That is 4 in red shift. Red. Your root red is 4. And it has a do 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 do. The vibrational energy of it. Death, death, death. Die, die, die. Die 99999. Die is 9. Yeah. See, and you see how they put it there. Look how they put it up on a little altar. See, this P and X is 13. It will take you to straight you back to your 4. Yeah, inside of the church. That's how they do it. So if I take this cross, if I take this this diamond here, I can open up this diamond here, and it will. If I open it here, I open the bottom, I open another side, I open the back side, and I open the 2 sides, and it will give me 6. It will give me 6, and there's another point that will give me 7 in actual fact. It will give me 7 in the end. Yeah, and this is masonry. This is on top of this goes a square and a compass. Commander and master of this physical plane. Yeah, but you see what happens is you have to hold up the cross of matter. You are the Christ. You are the Christ. We are holding up our matter cross on your back. Yeah, because it's rough out here, is it not? Is it not rough out here? You are supposed to fall down and get back up and climb and continue. Yeah? So you are supposed to be holding your matter cross in the physical. And that's why the 4 and the 6, you see them intertwined together. And you see 4 and 6 together gives you spirit. It comes to take you back to 1. Yeah? So everything is all there. It's all in perfect harmony. And then so then I was talking about the 6, wasn't I? the 6s and the 9s. So this is why now, you see this here, their economy is crashing, look. And look at the numbers, his spirit's telling you. Down, 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 down. 99999, 5.4, 33, 33. You best become a master builder. Yeah, the biggest loss in 4 years. Spirit is talking. Yeah, Spirit's talking. This one here on the 22nd, yeah, on 22nd, right, of the 13th, yeah, 22 minutes. 22 minutes ago on the 13th, they had 45,000 cases they have, yeah. And sorcerers will use it. And at the same time, spirit will also use it as well. We don't realise, you see, yeah. Rituals, tribes people, yeah, are able. You see, whatever you do here, the ether it pervades everything. So if you change your state of being, alter your state of being, yeah, then the fields will come in, yeah, because the fields are plasma fields that move as rays. Inside of the rays is fields of magnetism, the magnetic fields, yeah, and that's how they work in this fluidic fashion through thought, sound, light, everything. So something like this here, yeah, they are able to then use, they're then able to, because the fields contain information, they're able to pull the information through from ancestors. You see, animals, because they recognize and know, yeah, the indigenous. So watch a brilliant indigenous. I should have wished I had it on here now. They said some really massive things. They always do, concerning the nature of the fields. Yeah, indigenous. If you want to know about plasma and the field and stuff, just go and listen to indigenous people and they tell you how, and that's why we think, what are they talking about? Yeah, that's why they're doing all these things like this, because they're working with the ether, they're working with the fields. They know that the fields are there. So when they start doing a chant, they start doing certain chants, certain things with the fire, yeah, with the fire, they start to move the matter, they start to shift energies. They start to become less dense, and they move into higher planes, into superior planes, and then that enables them to access Akashic records residing within the actual fields. That is what enables that process to actually take place. It enables it to take place, yeah, because the energies are working, yeah, directly through those fields, yeah. So, peace, love, and centeredness, and we'll see you on the next one.